Well, hello, it's Friday, a little bit late for Woolly Hats Wednesday Whip, but we're here. Welcome everybody on this lovely sunny summer's day. Clouds have gone and the sun is out, and time to enjoy the summer weather. Anyway, so what are we doing? Well, the summer is a great time to do a lot of washing. I know, it's sad, isn't it? But it's quite nice to do. Now, I don't know whether yours is the same as my house, but my house, I've got quite a few throws, which I've done over the years, and they're quite big things to wash. So I tend to wait till the summer to give them all a really good wash. And what I do is I put them in the bath with some lukewarm water and some gentle detergent and let them soak, and then I give them a thoroughly good rinse, and then I make sure I don't hang them up because otherwise you'd stretch it. So I sort of drape it over a clothes dryer in the bath to let most of the water go out, and then I can put it out in the garden for the sunshine to do its work, which is what I've done with this one. So this is I think one of the first stash busting granny squares I did, granny square blankets I did. It's about 15 years old. No, it's not the first, because the first thing I crocheted was a granny square blanket, but for a while this was the first one. And this is a mixture of my stash and my mother-in-law's stash, and it's a nice blanket, and we put it on the sofa and it's really nice. However, because it gets sat on quite a lot, it gets a lot of pressure, and sometimes the granny squares come undone a bit. So when I wash the granny square blankets or the other blankets with the throws, I look to see if I need to do any repairs, and I did. So on this one, I don't know whether you can see, so here the stitches had started to come undone. So I've got some yarn, doesn't match, but that doesn't matter because it's a granny square blanket, and I've repaired it. So you have to think about it quite carefully how to repair this, because you're going from the row below rather than working on the row top. But you can repair it, and hopefully that will last a few more years. So that's good. So it's always nice to do that. So I've got a few more blankets to do, put that over there, and they'll be nice and fresh and last a bit, and look really nice. I don't put them in the washing machine because a lot of my blankets are using different types of wool. So if I put them in the washing machine, some might shrink and some might not. That would be very weird. Anyway, what else have we doing? Well, this is my another stash busting project. This is the jumper I'm knitting. So this is the back. Da-da. So each of those squares is made up of 2 widths of sock wool put together of similar sort of hues, and then on the back it's intarsia. So intarsia means it's basically you're just doing colour work and making sure that there's no holes in them. This is a very simple intarsia. You can get very complicated intarsia, of which I have done, and it's nearly driven me mad. So anything that you see like with pictures on with knitting and things like that, that's an intarsia. And what you have to do is make sure that you when you change colour, you wind the wool round itself so that it doesn't come apart. And the sock yarn is an ideal wool to do intarsia because it's wool rich, so I'm not using any cotton, so it's either merino or Blueface Leicester, and certainly the Blueface Leicester is quite textural, so it knits together so it doesn't slip. If you use a lot of acrylic with it intarsia, it tends to slip and it gaps. So really nice wool, and it's coming up really nice. So I'm on the back, so that was the back, I'm on the front now. I'm doing that in between, because like crocheting granny squares, you end up with lots of little ends. So I have started to sew in the ends. So there you are, 1 row with sewn in ends, only 7 more to go. So I do that every now and again, so it's not a big job at the end. So the other thing I've been doing is another stash buster. Just put that there. So I found some granny squares, as you do, rather vibrant colours. So I hadn't got enough granny squares to make a blanket, and I didn't really want to do more because I hadn't got the wool, and I'm doing something else. I'm doing other things. So I thought, what can I do? So I thought I'd make a bag. So I've sewn the 9 squares together, and then I've done a joining strap there using half trebles with crocheted into the back, so it gives it a bit of a base. And now also from my stash, because I have a material stash as well as a wool stash, I've got some lining to put in the front, in the inside, sorry, and that's what I'm doing at the moment. Again, that's something I pick up and do a bit of and whatever. And because it's quite a big bag, I've got a zip to sew in the top, at the top there. So it's quite a chunky zip. I didn't want a dressmaker zip, so it's a chunky zip, which will look quite nice in the bag. So there you go, so I'll be doing that. So lots of stash busting and sorting out and things like that. I did yesterday go into a wool shop. Was it yesterday, Tuesday? Wednesday. I went into a wool shop and I didn't buy anything. I think I must be ill. And also on the same day, I went to a plant sale and didn't buy anything. So something must be going wrong somewhere. However, I do have lots of plants, I do have lots of wool, and I'm busy making sure I'm looking after what I have without buying anything else. Although I will be buying some more wool because I've got a commission for somebody's birthday, so I enjoy looking at wool and squishing them, see if it's the right colour. So that's all from me today. I do apologise for the drill, it seems to be ever present. Yesterday the house was shaking because they're doing some laying some path or something next door, but hopefully when I next do it here it will be a bit quieter. I hope you have a lovely week and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.